So it's snow day today. Actually, to be fair, it's not too bad, so I'm not going to moan about that because it could be a lot worse. First thing me and Wayne did is we went and picked this up from one of the body shops that we use, which is good because we had an appointment on it straight away at 10:30, and it didn't need anything. So a little bit dirty on the outside, but it was covered in snow when it got here first thing this morning. So now it's warmed up. That's all melted away. Customers came and saw it though. Lovely local couple from just up the road in Bolsover. They've got a really nice little Suzuki Splash that they're trading in against it, and there's a good profit in that Splash actually as well, so that's been a nice buy this morning. It's put me in a good mood. We get a nice car that's sold, that'll go on Monday, and then we've got a nice part exchange coming in which hopefully will be easy to move on as well, because it's a 1 litre little shopping car, £20 a year tax. Someone will buy that, even at this time of year someone's definitely going to buy that as well. They're always popular. BMW sold. So this one sold to a couple in Bicester near Oxford, so I've had to organise a delivery for that one because there's no way that I'm delivering cars this week while Dave's not here. It's just too much pressure on me and Wayne to get stuff sorted, so I want to be here all the time to sell as well, because there's no point being out on the road when we need somebody in to sell the cars. So that'll go on the transport tomorrow. There's literally nothing that needs doing to it. It's MOT'd, it's serviced, it's valeted. Just probably need a wipe over in the morning. Not much to do with that one. Nice easy sale again. I think, if I remember rightly, there's about 3.5 in that. I'll check with Dave when he gets back on Monday, but I'm sure there's 3.5 in that. So Clubman's had a new spring on it. So you'll notice on this side, compared to how it looked last time when it looked like a big American low rider, it's actually got some stance to it now. Look at that. It actually stands like a mini should. And I've driven this as well now. It's had that new spring on it and it drives like an absolute dream. So apart from that needing replacing, it's got 4 good tyres on it. Discs and pads are good all round. Another Motab sale, like the Suzuki, that's just easy. These cars at the moment are just a lifesaver because they come in, they get advertised. We didn't even put more than 2 pictures on for the Vitara. They get advertised and we get phone calls on them more or less straight away, because with the margins we've got in them, because they're grade 3 and 4, you can afford to advertise them a little bit lower, kind of undercut the rest of the market. But we know we've got good cars with potentially long MOTs on them in some cases as well, and not much work that needs doing to them apart from maybe a bit of body work. Mechanical things like that spring, job's a fish. It's good. Oh, we sold that 14 reg Peugeot partner van we'd had for ages. That's gone as well. That's been for paint. You'll remember me doing pictures of that one last week as well. So that's had a little bit of paint because on the other side it had damage to the sill that we'd not seen just here, if just mirrored on the other side of the van. So when it went to Paul, the guy who does some of our body work, he noticed that had happened and we'd not seen it, so he's done that for us. All it went for was just to have some paint on this plastic trim here, which again he's done, but as you can see, like, that's absolutely perfect now. But all of this was caved in, nothing structural to damage it, it's just as if it had been parked up against a curb or a rock somewhere on a drive and it had damaged it, so he's painted all of that. And then you might wonder why this is outside, because it was in the showroom. It went for an MOT the other day because we'd sold it through an outside finance company who called us, and then I don't want to go into too much detail on this one because I'm not 100% sure what's happening, but let's just say there may have been a bit of a discrepancy with who the customer is compared to who was applying for the finance. So we thought we had a very nice, easy, tied up deal on that one last Thursday, and we've just been told to basically hold his breath until we hear back from the finance company. If it's not sold, we need to get it back in the showroom, because while it stood out here, it's getting mucky, it's getting wet. It needs to be inside, that one. Land Rover's still here, no surprises. This has come back to us. Customer has brought this in yesterday. Before Dave went on holiday, he told me that the customer was going to bring it back and to have a courtesy car ready for him. Unfortunately, the customer decided to have a little bit of a moan about the size of the courtesy car compared to this one, because he decided on the day that he was going to have a courtesy car to basically move house and fill the back of this up with boxes. So it's this kind of thing that really does annoy me, because we don't need to give out courtesy cars. We're not legally bound to even offer a courtesy car. But some people are pleased just to even have a car in the first place. Other people, again, it comes down to, I don't know, a little bit of sense of entitlement in some cases. People want the equivalent of what they're driving around in as a courtesy car, and that just can't happen. We can't have, I don't know, the Range Rover that's in that back corner on our fleet as a courtesy car, just in case somebody who has bought a car over 20 grand wants an equivalent. We've got to work with what we've got at the end of the day, and we're a small business. We don't want to be running stock around putting miles on them, because that just devalues them. So that's a headache I didn't need yesterday. ST's back. Apparently there's nothing wrong with this, and Wayne said that it drove well yesterday, so as far as we're aware, it's okay. So expect that to sit around for another 6 months. And then I think really that's it for an update from last week. Still need to sort the Mini out, but Dave's going to do that when he's back off holiday, because we need an engine for that. So I think it's about time I went inside and warmed up. It's chilly, really, really chilly. Fucking top. Oh, this is an interesting one, isn't it, as well, that we found out when I took it for pictures the other day. What don't work on this way?
Oh, indicators!
Yeah. Got no working indicators. So the hazards work, because obviously I think they're on separate fuse, but for some reason I took it out for pictures. I have trade plates on, obviously, and as I was going up I kept putting the indicator on, but obviously naturally in your head you put the indicator on and you don't think anything about it. So I had the radio on, turned the radio off at a junction, and all of a sudden I thought, I can't hear any clicking. And yeah, indicators don't work at all on it. It's another one of those Motability buybacks, and when it came to us, it's had a sticker here saying it had some hand controls fitted. So I wonder if they've done something to remove the hand controls, and it might have either unplugged something on the steering column, or I don't know, a fuse somewhere, but they definitely don't work. So we can't really send it round for an MOT until we've sorted that out, because that's an immediate fail. If the indicators just aren't working, it's not going to pass. So it may be something as simple as a fuse. If we can just get a tester on it. I'll go fetch the key and I'll show you what I mean. Oh yeah, they do. So it's got to be something on the steering column then. Yeah, just turn the ignition on. Turn it on. Okay. But still, hasn't worked. So you know what I was saying earlier about, oh yeah, these Motability cars are great because they come to us and they've never got any problems. Yeah, sometimes they do. But it's a good job that we noticed that. If it had come to us and say, for instance, it had 11 months MOT on it and we hadn't done another test, and a customer had gone out in it, been pulled over because their indicators weren't working or they hadn't noticed, it's these little things that you go, it's annoying, but it's a good job we noticed it now, because it's a whole world of trouble that could have cropped up with. So worth driving stuff sometimes, and just putting a little bit of attention into what is working and what isn't working. So that could have come back to bite us on the arse. So it was a good buy up until that. They're all good buys, aren't they?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
one thing that really pisses me off with Nissans. Sometimes if the battery's so flat that you end up having to jump it kicks the radio code off. So you have to re-enter the radio code, which is just... I can't remember the last time I ever reported somebody having a car stereo stolen, so why on a 13 reg Nissan were they still using radios where you have to put a code in case somebody stole it? It's just extra bollocks. So, again, with getting everything done, MOT'd and prepped, that Mini Clubman, apart from having that front spring done, it's just flown through the test. So, yeah, that's all done and serviced. That 19 reg Tiguan as well, that was another Motability buyback. That is, how many miles has that got on it? 52,000. That's just flown straight through test as well. So, this whole idea of buying those grade 3, 4 cars that Dave was on about in one of our previous videos, it's serving as well at the moment. And yeah, we'll have some nice new stock for the new year, so that's made me happier today. I feel like we've progressed and we've achieved something. So all in all, it's been an average month again. If you look at the board and you've seen where we've been sort of like in September, October, we've done probably about the same again. There's a couple of cars on here that are trade cars instead. That's that blue Golf that I took in Partex. We didn't know whether or not we were going to trade that on, but Dave did it. Sold it to one of his friends straight away, so we didn't end up selling that. We're counting that into this month because money's already in bank for it. It's just got to be transported tomorrow. So 1 Series, like I said earlier, that's all ready to go. Vitara that sold this morning, that's going on Monday, so that'll be a next month. But that'll take us up to 20, or call it, I'm not even sure if that one is a trade car, to be fair. I don't know, I'll have to ask Dave about that. Call it 18 we've done, with a few trade cars in there as well. That Audi, obviously, it's a shame because that would have taken us up, just got us one more into the month, but obviously we don't know what's going on with that Audi, so we'll have to see. But saying that, we've got plenty of appointments on for this weekend. We've got 4 so far for Saturday. I just need to add a couple more onto this. So it could have been worse, especially in November where weather's turning, it's getting close to Christmas. It does seem as if a lot of people are looking for cars at the moment. I don't know what's caused that. I don't know if it's because prices have just started to drop and people have waited and they decided to start buying when things have got cheaper. I don't know, but obviously we've had to drop prices in line with what everyone else is doing, but that's serving us well at the moment. And if we've got things like those Motability cars, like that Vitara, we only had one picture advertising it on Auto Trader, and you get a local customer who turns up on your doorstep first thing in the morning who wants to buy it. That's the sort of stuff that we want. It just makes life so much easier. So could have been worse, could have been better. It's just an average month, and of course we're going into December, so it's always going to be quiet around Christmas time. But at least we've got everything more or less prepped and MOT'd and ready to go, so that when we get to 1st of January and we're back into the new year, when people tend to start looking for replacing things or they're looking ahead for what they're maybe going to do in February, March time, we've got a lot of cars that are ready to go and are all prepped and ready to go out. So yeah, and also, look at that, warranty work. There's a few bits obviously going on that I've not put on here, but mainly empty, and parts as well. So nice to see that empty after the months that we've had recently. Yeah, so it's comfy anyway, and has it got heated chairs?
More than likely.
Well, it's got a bonnet airbag. You know, for pedestrians. I've always wondered what that panel is. So someone bounces up on bonnet, I suppose that deploys and stops them hitting their head on the
You
windscreen.
know what? It's not what I've just learnt to know.
I
Every
did-
day's a school day.
I thought bigger Range Rovers had them.
I didn't know it. I
But
didn't,
I didn't know
I
these
just thought it was just something a bit of fancy or something, but
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Something else to go wrong. Let's put everything warm. Test all electronics.